So 1 hour of painful upstairs hiking to get all the way to the top of Reinebringen. What I don't do for you guys, what I don't do for you, but wow, a view. Worth it. Wow, a view. This is just a testimony to how I work. There is still light, so I can get another composition. So I made it in time, which is a miracle, it feels like. But here comes the sun, here's the sunrise. This is so beautiful. So it's going to illuminate the entire town and mountains and everything. So I'm ready with the camera. I'm shooting using the wide angle lens right now. It was a good call to leave the long lens back in the car. So I have the ultra wide angle 12-24 and then I have my 24-105 if I want to zoom into some details. But right now I will put down the vlogging camera and go get some photos. There are several places to park if you want to hike Reinebringen. Due to the hike's popularity, the nearest parking lot has been closed down due to it leading to traffic chaos. You can park several places in Reine, be aware the closer ones fill up fast, or one further south at the bridge. If you park in Reine, you just follow the trail, which is the old road around the mountain, not through the tunnel, to get to the trailhead. You will have to walk between half a kilometer to 1 kilometer to the trailhead, but there's no reason to worry about that. No, the real effort is doing the actual hike up to Reinebringen. Even though it is considered easy and has stairs almost all the way to the top, the 448 meter and 1560 steps climb hurts like crazy when you have 10 kilogram camera gear on the back. So I've got a few shots and I gotta admit that I do feel a little bit, well, not stressed out, but I'm struggling here because I know the second I come home, when I shoot with a wide angle and I look at it on the big screen, everything in the background, the houses and so forth, will just look super tiny. And if I introduce some foreground, the foreground will take up a lot of the photo. It is super hard to get this entire vista in one shot. And even if I make panoramas, obviously the entire photo will just make all the houses even smaller. So I'm trying to pick out different parts of the scene that I find interesting. But yeah, right now I gotta admit I'm struggling a little bit. I would consider the location a sunrise location since you get Reine lit by the morning light in the winter half of the year. However, if you hit a narrow window in the beginning of May or middle of August, you can have the sunset light up Reine too. That being said, you can of course get amazing photos during moody days too. However, be aware this is a very popular hike and during the summer months it is reported that an estimated 800 to 1,000 people visit this hike every day. So there is a lot of pressure on the parking lots. That is why I will suggest to do this hike either for sunrise or in the late hours of the day. So now the sun has really come up and throwing its light down into the town and the valley, and I'm not even sure what you call this, archipelago, something like that. All these small islands, and it looks beautiful, so beautiful. But it's hard to photograph from up here. I gotta admit that it's one of those photos that you just have to like print it huge for it to make really sense, so you can see all the small fine details. I am mainly photographing with the wide angle just to get everything, trying to find the balance between having too much foreground and having too little foreground, and then have the focal point, which is obviously the background here with the islands. But yeah, even if I don't get a really good photo, it's really, really beautiful. What an epic view. And the mountains are just so dramatic. It looks like spikes that have been forced out of the earth. It's impressive that a place like this exists. Wow. Get a few photos with my ground-based camera, but I must admit I prefer the photos I got with the drone. With the drone I could use Reinebringen as a foreground while still get a perspective showing the small towns and islands beneath. So there's no doubt that this is an absolutely fantastic and epic view, but I gotta admit it was really hard to photograph it, and I have no clue as of standing right here if my photos turned out good or bad. I will definitely have to wait and see to when I get back home in front of the computer, and it will be interesting to make the comparison between making a hike all the way up here and comparing the photos which I got with the camera and the photos I got with the drone the other morning. Like, obviously the light is a little bit different, but is it worth, photography wise, taking such a big hike, or are we just lucky that we have drones? Who knows? Even though it was sunrise and I in theory should be very happy about the light, the lack of clouds in the sky and the fact I didn't get the very first deep red colors because of clouds covering a few degrees of the horizon,
I just don't think these photos are on par with the photos I got with my drone a few days earlier in the area around Hamnøy. Don't get me wrong, the photos I got from Reinebringen are fine. I think I prefer the drone photos, and the hike was definitely worth it for the view alone. However, amazing photos does not follow just because you are high up and put in a big effort. If you want to know more about composition in landscape photography, be sure to get my 113 pages ebook covering that subject. It has tons of examples and is designed to be easy to read. And if you plan a tour to Lofoten yourself, be sure to get my digital map with all the gorgeous photography locations I show in this series. It's easy to use with Google Maps, and along with my ebook you can get it via the links down in the description. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, I'd highly appreciate both a like and a comment.